Let's see if I'm on. Am I on? All right, let's give it a go. Greetings and welcome. Thank you for stopping by here on YouTube Live at The Real Bloom from Within Love. I go by Bloomy. And I just gave this a go on the TikTok portal. And the internet and data is really wonky. And so I'm just trying to see which platform's going to work for this. And we'll see what happens, okay? So, hey y'all, welcome. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate all y'all. All right, anything that you need to know about me should be listed in the description box. The sweetness of your weakness. Now, I'm outside for a reason. In the energy to give you all the frequency of once you have done your isolation, once you have went into hermit mode and recluse, once you have done that, right, which is necessity, we need to do that, okay, to get your introspection, to get your healing, to detox, whatever it is. At some point, it's designed for you to get back out, okay? The hermit mode, the introspection, the isolation, it's never meant to be a permanent station, okay? It's for our healing. It's for detoxing. It's for ascension. It's to get, you know, another perspective of things, okay? Because when we're too engaged or entangled in a lot of things, it's very difficult to be able to see clearly. It's very challenging to be able to get a higher perspective when you're in the mully grubs, when you are in the muck and the mire, when you are entangled with karmic energy. So it is a necessity, but it's also a robbery. When we go there and stop there, then we're not living, okay? So I came outside because it's about embracing the world again. Coming out of the bat cave, coming out of the Catwoman cave, connecting back with nature, connecting back with the world again, okay? And embracing the sweetness of your weakness, okay? Now, many of us, we've been trained and conditioned, you guys, to look at our perceived weaknesses as something bad because usually our perceived weaknesses has cost us. It's gotten us in connections we wish we never gotten in. It's gotten us in places making poor decisions that cost way more than what the benefit was, whatever, right? But there is a flip side to the weakness, okay? And I want to talk about that just for a little bit. The sweetness of your weakness. Usually there's actually a strength hidden beneath, okay? That it only got exploited because something was out of balance. There was a need for healing, okay? So for an example, let's say you're a passionate person. Let's say you're very passionate. Let's say you have a big heart. Let's say you're very giving. Let's say you are in tune with people. You can sense people's emotions or desires or needs, right? And let's say with that you have had a tendency to give it away to the wrong people or take it too far, or, you know what I'm saying, allow yourself to get caught up in more of the toxic things bent on your weakness versus channeling it to something higher vibrational or more productive, okay? The sweetness is collective that you can channel this perceived weakness for your growth, for your forward movement, for your healing, and towards something more higher vibrational and productive. It's an act of will, it is a choice, and it is a surrender, okay, to whatever that is that you believe in, okay, in terms of, if you use, God, higher self, Jesus, You know what I'm saying? Whatever that is, a surrender to a higher frequency, a higher being, okay? That very thing that you have suffered from or has been taken out of context can become something very beautiful and very powerful. You guys may say, how? How? How, Bloomy? Because as I sit back and as I look at, this part of me, all I can see is what the hell, you know what I'm saying? It didn't cause my life, mine and other people. But I'm gonna give you an example. I'm gonna help you right now, okay? You guys hear me? I always like to use movies and things like that because we can equate and relate to these things. So think about the movie Rocky. Think about Rocky 4. It's one of my favorites to reference because, that was a fucking bloody war, man. You know what I'm saying? Rocky 4, his best friend that got killed or whatever by the Russian dude. And, at the end, the fight with, Rocky and this Russian dude. And the sweetness of the weakness here being that Rocky's love and his passion for avenging his friend, for justice, for what was right, as he channeled the energy properly, because he could have went on the flip. You hear me? He could have went on the flip, which is what we typically suffer from. When you go on the flip side of it, it takes you on a downward spiral, right? Because now you're sinking into depression, you're sinking into, drug and alcohol addiction or whatever it is. But Rocky channeled that energy and it gave him power. Hear me out. It gave him power in the ring because that was his why. His weakness was his why. His weakness was his sweetness. His weakness for loyalty and justice and fairness to something that was unjust. His passion for vindicating that. His passion for standing for what was right, you know what I'm saying, against the bully of the time. Okay, the bully was the Russian, the bully, all right? He had all of the technology, he had all of the money, he had all of the resources, he had all of the followers, he had all of the subscribers, he had all of the government and, his backing, right? That kind of put him on that pedestal. You know what I'm saying? He was a bully. And so Rocky didn't care. And he didn't care that he was small in the eyes of or comparison to. That weakness is a sweetness that can drive you to liberation, justice, freedom, victory, and success when we channel it and use it properly. It's heart, it's called soul, it's called moxie, okay? Because Rocky had to stand up against, something bigger than him, okay? Rocky was considered to be the underdog. He was considered to be the smaller opponent here. He didn't have all of the money. He didn't have all of the resources, all of the technology, all of the equipment, all of the drugs, all of the, He was smaller in stature. Essentially, it was him and his ragtag team. He was, outnumbered, right? And he had to go in with his weakness, his love, his passion, his faith. And because of this, Rocky endured brutality. Hear me out. Got his ass whooped. Oh, I love this. Because, the truth of the matter is, it's going to be a process. Even though he has the passion, He had to get his ass whooped. He had to train, and he had to train hard, man. He had to make do with what he had. He had to get creative because they weren't going to be fair. Bullies are never fair. See, that's the theme of the whole get down. Bullies are never fair because they're bullies by definition. Bullies are never fair because they're cowards. So they weren't gonna give Rocky, oh, here, we're gonna set you up over here in quarters, you know what I'm saying, so you can train and, whoop and, you know what I'm saying? They weren't gonna do that. They were like, nah, you make do, figure it out. You know what I'm saying? You here and because we ain't giving you shit. Right? So that's what bullies are because, again, like I said, they're weak. But Rocky had to use his weakness for love of his friend that he lost out of some brutal battle that was unjust and unfair. And he had to go there. Like, fuck that. Shit, somebody got to take this motherfucker down. And it's going to be me. You know what I'm saying? Whoop. It's going to be me. That's how we rolling, right? So when we grab that energy, instead of going to the left, doing things illegally, going down the spiral of, oh man, oh, okay, drugs or alcohol, you know what I'm saying? The destructive side of it. Because he could just said, if Rocky wanted to, he could have just been like, you know what, we're going to sneak up on this motherfucker and we finna take him out. That's what we finna do. You know what I'm saying? Whoop, we going to, right? That's the lower vibration. That's, you know what I'm saying, kind of taking things too far. But when we channel it in the higher vibration, right? Then it's like, I stand for justice. I stand for passion. I stand for love. And I stand for what's right. And I'm fencing to whoop your ass. In the ring, professionally. Professionally, legally. I don't have to break the law. I don't have to stalk you. I don't have to poison you. I don't have to reduce myself to your vibration. But I kill your ass. Professionally, right? I might have to get my ass whooped in the process. Because that's the way it is, you know what I'm saying? Rocky gets in there with this beast, this big bully beast, right? With all the bells and whistles and shiznit and all of the ego to go along with it. I am Ivan the Russian, here to take Rocky, this little wimp, down. Right? Rocky's like, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Well, I can't do the impressions good. I wish I could. I can't do the impressions, but Rocky's like, motherfucker, ain't nobody scared of you. You finna find out. You finna find out, motherfucker. Ain't nobody scared of you. Ain't nobody scared of you. Shit. I got something you don't have. A soul. I have something you don't have. I have heart. I have integrity. I have love. So, going in that energy, it takes Rocky through, hear me collective, all of the various stages and phases of, taking that weakness and gaining a victory on his own behalf, but on behalf of who he was fighting for, avenging his friend, and being willing to go the distance, understanding that, yeah, it was like, 12 rounds. I want to say 12 or 14 rounds, like to the bitter end. That he won some of the rounds and he also lost some of the rounds. Okay, because it is in some ways a battle, in some way. Because Bullies don't go away easily. If we look at that and equate it to life, because you said you decided. And you can equate bullies to anything collective. You can equate Ivan the Russian in the movie, to anything in your life that's been resistant and stubborn to die, okay? Or be released, or to let, or to go away. Whether that is a belief system, a mindset, an attitude, a way of doing life, conditioning, addictions, or literal people, organizations, groups, friends, family, whomever, okay, that insist upon being the antagonist or insist upon, for whatever the reason is, okay? I'm not going to get too deep into the, lessons and why people be karmics and, I'm not going to go there. But you can equate it to anything you wish here. And when something has been a part of your life for a long time, as like that fight between Rocky and the Russian, it didn't go, well, round one, he got in the ring and, knocked the Russian the fuck out. No, that was something that's been established. It was a stronghold. It was something that had been deeply, deeply, deeply ingrained and attached, if you will. So it's a battle with self and the self. That's a whole nother video. I don't want to get too esoteric right now. But he had to be willing to dedicate himself to his healing, if you will, using the very weakness that got him in trouble to start. The very weakness that got him in trouble to start, right? Caring too much, the passion, right? When all of this stuff is volatile and ruled by the lower mind, it gets us in a lot of fuck shit. But using that very passion to be willing to go the distance for one's own healing, one's own freedom, one's own liberation, to stand justice. All we have to do is look at history and life, and we can see how this plays out. Freedom fighters and those that were before us and anybody in history, they had to really be willing to go the distance. And they did it the best they could. Some more high vibrational, others a little bit of a both. But they had to be willing because they knew that it wasn't going to be where it's just this one time, whoop their ass, and we win, gold star. You know what I'm saying? No. They had to stand against the opposition. They had to stand against those that was going to continue to try. They had to be willing to endure and be committed. The why and who we are and what we do is always a driving force that can make or break you. If your why is strong, then you'll take a licking and keep on ticking. You'll realize that, yeah, you're going to have to win a couple rounds until you get your ass whooped for a few times. You know what I'm saying? And with each time, right, just like in the movie Rocky, if we were to look at that and keep equating it to a process, not to say it has to be this way, but I'm just saying that sometimes it is. And when we channel this in a higher vibrational way, it can work for you. Each time Rocky got back in that ring, each round for round, he got more better, didn't he? More better. He got more better. He got sharp and shit. He's like, okay, yeah, he whooped my ass. You know what I'm saying? Whoop. He whooped my ass last round, fencing and getting him next. You know what I'm saying? And he goes back in the ring, boom. Yeah, I learned something. Okay? I learned something. I'm fencing to whoop, whoop, whoop. Right. Then, another round, then the Russian whoop his ass and shit. And then Rocky is like, damn, shit, fuck me. Right? Ooh, they got me, man. Then he go back out again. It's like, yeah, but I learned something again. I'm finna whoop your ass. Right? He get back in. Pop, 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 pop. Didn't see it coming, huh? Huh? Didn't see it coming. Right? Whoop, on my toes. Move like a butterfly, sting like a bee. I'm on my toes, motherfucker. On my toes. Ah, and it goes over and over. But Rocky's confidence, as with us, collective, when we commit to that and stay in a higher vibration, you're not just getting your ass kicked. You know what I'm saying? You're gaining character. You're gaining integrity. Because, a wimp and coward could have said, okay, cool, I quit. Throw in a white flag here in the ring because I ain't finna do this. Right? A wimp and a coward could have been like, I'm not doing that. I ain't finna die like my homie. My homie got his ass whooped. My homie died. You know what I'm saying? So that's easy. So each time Rocky was doing this, it's gaining character, it's gaining confidence because he's starting to realize each time that motherfucker that thought they were invisible though, that motherfucker that thought that they were God, that motherfucker that thought they were all that is not. They're going down. That they're human and bleed red just like you. When you blow away all the smoke and mirrors, when you blow away all the hocus pocus, magic, and all of the hype and props and flying monkeys and shit. When you blow all that away, they're just a human being and they can fall. The bigger they are, the harder they ass fall. Bigger, meaning not just an ego, not just in physical, but whatever that is that got them all fluffy, right? When you strip all that, right? Just like you. And I feel like that's what Rocky realized with each round. Like, yeah, sure, he's got the backing of all of these Russian motherfuckers in Russia, his territory, right? Rocky went to his territory and whooped his ass in his territory. Yeah. There was a point to that shit. Because home dude that came to his territory and killed his friend. So it's like, oh, okay, all right. Oh, okay. So it gave Rocky strength. It gave him hope. And so it is with you all. So it is with me and any of us on this path. Sure, you win some, you lose some. But you really don't lose. All of it served. All of it serves as building up your confidence, building up that strength, building up integrity, building the why, right? Because such is life. As long as we are in the earth school and in this 3D, there's going to always be seasons. Everything about earth, everything about nature is celestial, meaning a time and a season. Nothing is always up, up, up. And when we go to bat like that, or go to ring in a productive, constructive way, it serves for whatever seasons of life you will have henceforward. You will be one that have a backbone. You will be one that can stand the test of time. You will be one that would have the strength. What the hell? The strength and the strength and, damn. The strength and the ability to stand in integrity. When things come against you, when there's opposition, when, things don't maybe move as quickly, or when something doesn't necessarily go as you wanted it to go. And, you'll have it because why? You practiced it. Because you was in the ring with the bully. Okay? You were willing to go in the ring with the one that thought they were untouchable. With the one that thought that they couldn't lose, right? And if it's not an external, you can look at it as yourself. Like, let's say you're battling you with you, which essentially that's what we're really doing. But if you wanted to go more intro here, let's say you're upset with yourself. Let's say, you're wondering, okay, well, how come I can't just be better? Or how come I can't manage to just fucking make a better decision, right? But the whole path of being willing to go in and look at yourself, that surrender and that volatile process often of the lower mind versus the surrender to source, that back and forth energy is the ring fight. And there you discover in a loving way that it was never nothing really wrong with you, that it was all of the conditioning, all of the trauma you've gone through, all of these things that had gotten you in this pattern, and been willing to heal, being willing to take one step at a time, being willing to make the hard choices, even when they hurt and there's uncertainty. This is where you build the confidence to keep going. Because eventually, as you continue, you start to see the light at the end of the tunnel. You start to see with each round the benefit of standing ground, the benefit of not selling yourself out, not selling yourself short because it's easier to do so, right? Because we do need to be kind with ourselves as we're getting our ass whooped. As we're getting our asses whooped, trying to change, right? Like, okay, man, shit. Round 2, I'm going in. I learned a lesson. Go back in the ring. Now here comes the bully with a sidewinder and shit. Sidewinder, here's another addiction. Damn. Damn it. Sidewinder, you know what I'm saying? But that's okay, right? Then you kind of learn, you go in there, okay, whoop. I got caught up in shit, fuck me. Fuck me, but I'm finna do this. Help me, source, help me. And with that surrender, then you whoop their ass again. Like, whoop, I'm free, I ain't addicted to this no more, thank you, bye. Bye, Felicia. By addiction, by, controlling motherfuckers, like whatever it is, right? And so you're still getting stronger, you're healing. Before you know it, you don't even think that you are, right? But every time you dedicate yourself to your soul's path, every time you dedicate yourself to a cause worth fighting for, your integrity, your divinity, justice, you're discovering like it's worth it. Rather than sell my soul or surrender to the status quo or surrender to my own addiction and just, wallow in my woes because I feel like I'm hopeless, but you're not, right? You're not. And that's what that Rocky IV movie, that last fight, Rocky and the Russian, is about, collective. That is the sweetness. The sweetness of your weakness is you can use your passion. Sorry. Someone that's very passionate, guys, if you use that passion productively, constructively, you can do great and mighty things. If you learn to channel that passion into something that's high vibrational, something that is loving in nature, something that will prove to be productive, okay, in your life and that of others, then you being passionate is no longer a bad thing. And I'll talk about the men for a minute, because I can almost hear some of the men coming on that, you know, are on these journeys and they do want to do better. They do, that, you know, they're trying to embrace their journey, but they're starting to look at their passion as something to hate because it has caused them a lot of pain. Whether it been they can't control their lust, and so they, you know, they have a tendency to sleep with everyone in the Americas or whatever geographical location, right? Or get caught up as a result of it because they're easily lured away due to passion. Passion for sex, passion for the greed and lust of life. And so, but masculines, I just want to tell you, that passion is not bad. It's misguided. It's perhaps out of balance, okay? Chakra systems and so forth, okay? There may need to be healing. There may need to be a lot of purification of your life, but that passion, though, it's not bad. It just needs to be divinely guided and invested properly. And you'll see how your life transforms and butterflies when you're able to allow your divinity to have rule over your passions versus your passion having rule over you. Okay? And so I just want to encourage the masculine energies in that way. Okay? You don't have to beat up yourself or scold yourself here. Okay? That's another program. You don't need to do that in order to decide to change or to feel better. It's just an act of will and a decision and loving on yourself, okay? And being gentle with yourself about your mistakes and about your patterns and about your background, and just committing forward like, okay, yeah, I did. That was me. It's what I became. It's what I embraced. But I'm not defined by that. I don't have to be. I can transform. I can grow up. I can, you know, decide to surrender. I can humble myself. I can come out of my shadow energy if I want to and become something great and fight for the right things in life and not fight for, you know, trying to stunt and, you know, clout chasing and trying to look better than this one and be better than that one and trying to prove some useless point that don't even matter at the end of the day. And you can do it, okay? Feminine, equally, likewise with you. You know, don't hate the softness. I have to say this because it's one of my greatest lessons. The sweetness of your weakness. Don't hate your softness. Don't hate that, you know what I'm saying, you have a big heart. Don't hate that you're able to see the good in people that perhaps there's nobody else on fuckers, okay? But don't hate that beautiful, soft, sensual, sweet, caring, kind, compassionate, and patient part of you. It's a part of your divinity. It's a part of divine feminine energy, okay? Just like with the masculine, it's been misguided. It's been exploited, okay? So there may need to be some healing, some purification, some wisdom, some balance, but don't look at it like, okay, I hate this. It's a weakness because it caused me this. Like the masculine, it caused me pain. It caused me to be taken advantage of. It caused people to think it's so stupid. It caused, you know, this and that and this and that and this and that. So, again, upon that surrender and being willing to commit to one's own healing and transformation and being willing to stand for justice and what is right in your life, meaning perhaps healthy boundaries. Every time you get into the round, you learned one lesson, okay, whoop their ass and shit. Get in there, whoop the rest of the ass, okay? And then you go in another round, they got your ass. Like, whoop, got another lesson, need another boundary. Oh, I'm a little tender in this spot, right? So it's serving. You're growing with each adjustment, okay? Love on yourself, be kind. When you feel like you gotta pull back, that's okay. That's a part of you. There's nothing to prove. I feel like the lessons of all of us is that there's nothing to, you don't need the approval, okay? Because you're not in a competition with anyone. This is a journey, okay? It's about your path and your journey. And if you feel like you need to pull back feminine to recuperate and heal and pour back into you, you want to do that and you want to keep doing that. But aim to keep your vulnerability. Something that I'm doing, collective, is I'm setting these intentions. We have to start somewhere. And the start is setting the intention to surrender to Source, God, your higher self, setting an intention to embrace and love every part of yourself, embracing your vulnerability and sweetness and softness. If you're feminine, if you're masculine and you're bothered by what has hurt you, embracing, setting intention to forgive yourself, and loving on every part of who you are, mistakes and all, and still holding on to your passion while you're trying to heal and transform and guide your life in a better way. And if masculine, if you feel like, you know what I'm saying, that you need to recluse so that you can kind of get clear about who you are and clear about your priorities and what matters to you so that you can better govern your passion. Because when you're running on autopilot, meaning the programmings, your conditioning, what you've been used to, what you grew up around, your environment, then this is what has caused the pain and suffering in these toxic cycles, in these toxic patterns. So masculine recruiting so that he can gain the perspective and heal, and then so he can better guide his passion, tapping into the self to find out who they are and what's truly important to them. Okay? All right, you guys. So, what happened? Anywho, so I just wanted to talk about that. There's a sweetness to your beautiful weaknesses. It's just up to us to hone in on it and govern it and use it in a proper way. Okay? And I wanted to come outside because at some point, collective, us recluding is only meant to do in spurts, okay? In spurts, so that you can recover, so that you can heal, so that you can gain proper perspective of things. But it's not our permanent station in life. We are here on earth to be a part of earth and to live, okay? And not be afraid of that. And not be afraid of your vulnerability, and not be afraid or care about your mistakes and weaknesses and failures and bad decisions. Because let me tell you something. Every last one of us on the earth here, okay? We all have our own version of it. We've all made poor decisions. We've all suffered things. And so whether people are trying to act like it or not, okay? Getting into that place of no longer caring, realizing that, you know what, motherfuckers be fronting anyway. You don't know half of the story of the truth about people sometimes, okay? Of, how they're presenting and stunting and shit. You don't know. You don't know. So it's better for us to just embrace, like, okay, you made a mistake, you made a poor decision, you've been resistant to your own healing, and just accept it. That acceptance and accountability gets you in ebb and flow. It gets you moving in forward movement in a positive direction. Realizing that you don't need to compare yourself to no one else. You simply need to just take ownership of your own life. Okay? And like Rocky, in the end, he whooped his ass. The big Russian came down, okay? So the bullies in your life are coming down, okay? In the end, as we continue to commit to this, The bullies are going to get their ass whooped, okay? Metaphorically speaking, energetically speaking, symbolically speaking, they're coming down. Yes, every addiction, every codependency, every narc, every spiritual bully, every religious bully, every family bully, whatever it has been an antagonistic energy in your life, whether this is something internally or externally, their asses is coming down. Yeah. Ah, sweet victory. Sweet victory. Moxie. Resilience. Taking a licking. And keep on ticking. Right? Whether that's gossip, rumors, lies. Right? Plots and schemes. All of it. Going down. They're going down. As you stay the course and shift your focus. Now, in the ring, you know, you have to keep your eye on the prize, eye on the tiger. Who sang that song? I am the tiger. Who sang that? Something, something, and you're gonna hear me roar. Oh, 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 oh. Yeah, they're gonna hear you roar. Right? As you keep your eye on the prize. What is the prize? Your transformation, your healing, your soul's path, journey, and purpose, your happiness, your why behind your what. Because the real goal, even in the ring, is not about Ivan, actually. It's not even about that Russian that's fencing to go down. I'm just talking about the movie, y'all, so don't be upset. He simply just represents a blockage. That's all. He's just representing a blockage. So what I'm taking of that is, again, not even overly focusing on the fuck shit that all these lower vibratory people do as a distraction. Because they're not even the target. Okay? I just heard this old school song or rap just came to my mind, like just a lyric of it. And I don't remember who sung it, wrote or rapped it, but it was like, move, get out the way, get out the way, get out the way, move, get out the way, get out the way. So that's really essentially all that it is about. To stay the course. Governing yourself so that they can't rule you. Right? Beautiful. All right, collective. I hope that this discussion helps somebody, encourages somebody to stay the course, stay the path, embrace what you're perceiving as your weakness and seeing the sweetness of it, setting the intention to surrender it. Okay, and govern it more productively so that you're getting higher vibrational fruit and results from that part of you. Okay, but there's nothing wrong with being a sweet person, a nice person, a soft person even. There's nothing wrong with being, you know, having desires, passion. It's moderation and balance and channeling these things the proper way. All right? We always have a choice every single moment and every day. Choose this day. Choose. Low vibration or high vibration. Divinity or devilish energy. Right? Toxicity over healthy, benevolence, justice, fairness, right? We all have a choice. Even when we feel like we don't, we actually do. It's the willingness to go to bat or to the ring for one's own freedom, one's own healing, one's own happiness. You all have what it takes. We have what it takes. I believe in each and every one of you who are sincerely on this journey here. Even if you're in the very beginning stages of your awakening and you have set the intention and made the choice to your journey and process, I believe in you. And I'm sending you guys a love and light constantly. May you be well. I wish you well. May you be well. And those that stand as your antagonists, those that operate in that kind of energy, whether it is people or whether it's something inside of you, send it love and light, send them love and light. Thank them for their role that they have played to get you in a place to be ready, to embrace your authenticity, who you really are, healing and moving in a higher vibrational way in your life, okay? All right, bright souls. I appreciate every last one of you. Send you love and light. Namaste.